Hey everybody, this is Doing Lines. This is the sports betting podcast where we bet on all of the not sports and some of the sports of sports. I nailed it this time. I'm your host, Kyle Ayers, joined as always by my co-host, Austin Huff.
I'm in a world of pain, all of which thanks to the Tennessee Titans.
There's a shirt. If this is your first time listening, every week Austin and I put together some pretty fake, kind of fun, but very ridiculous, measurable bets that don't really have much to do with the sports of the NFL. Then we have a guest on. They get $1,000 fake dollars to bet for fake charity, and we see who wins. I think that's a pretty good description of what's going on, right?
Yeah, I think you nailed it, honestly.
Thank you very much. Last week, Baltimore Orioles pitcher Kyle Gibson was on. It's insane to say that still.
It really is, especially in the week leading up to the ALDS. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. The Orioles were swept in the ALDS. Is Doing Lines to blame for that? Now, most of the time I would say if someone, starts to loses their game in the sport of baseball, it would be blamed to Doing Lines, a la Darryl Strawberry. But for us,
or Pete Rose doing autographs these days.
That's another line that them doing would deteriorate their game. That was an oddly structured sentence. Yeah, but for this, I don't think so. I don't think there's a Doing Lines curse out there, right?
No.
Because he's the first guy to lose in the ALDS after coming on this podcast.
Right. Everyone else, every other MLB pitcher we've ever had on the show has won the World Series the same year they did it. So I think that it's too small of a sample size. Do you know what I mean? And I think we should not say he was cursed. But Kyle came on and had a good week last week. He won $400, and that puts him into fourth place. Kyle Brandt still out in front from the NFL Network with $1,302, and then Dave Barnes and Sarah Tiana both have $1,000, and coming up in fifth place, Megan Gailey, negative $850. So Kyle Gibson puts himself firmly in the green there with plus 400.
Yeah, Kyle will be good to know. Him being a Colts fan would be glad to know that his team did come out victorious against the Titans. So, all right,
sure.
So I'm sure that's probably what he wanted more than an ALDS victory anyway.
I would say last week, one thing you and I did really well. First off, last week I did pretty well. I made $700, which brings me up to $1,000 for the season, and you won $100, which brings you up to $400 for the season. We're both in the green, and that feels good.
Yeah. We could pay rent together.
Sure. You and I put together could almost afford either of the places we're at right now.
Yeah.
We kind of nailed it, honestly, on coming up with lines. The over-under on Skip Bayless tweets at 55.5. He landed on 59. The 49ers-Cowboys game put him over. He hit the over throwing away a Dak Prescott jersey, which is pretty fun.
That's really funny.
You had the Billy Joel, Stevie Nicks, Piano Man length of the song. Will the Ravens' yardage fall within there? It did.
Yeah.
That one's just a bunch of complicated bets with a bunch of lines that kind of hit okay.
It's weird how good we are at setting these lines. Like, we are quite possibly the new Vegas.
It really, really is weird. We're the new Vegas in the fact that expansion teams should be looking towards us.
Right. And we love you too.
And we're both dominated by the Chiefs. But we kind of nailed it. Like I say, it's 1,000 to 400 in the Kyle v. Austin. And, this week we get into it. We have some good bets. We got Chiefs-Broncos bets. We got Jets versus Eagles. We have the most complicated stock market related NFC matchup wager possible.
Get ready to have your head spinning after this. And Kyle, is your roommate Bailey behind you this week? Is she currently in the room?
She's not here right now.
Okay.
But
because I have a bone to pick with her.
I know. Even the Bailey picks last week, where she just blindly picked the games, and I didn't let you know who she picked, and you had to guess how she'd do. She hit the over just barely.
With that. And she threw me off by picking Buffalo in that one game. I was like, oh, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. Absolutely wild betting across the board. Got a lot of money on fantasy group chats this week. We got Jamel Johnson here as well, and he's wonderful. And I think we should let's get into week 6.
Let's do it.
Joining us for NFL Week 6, he is one of the hosts of Sorry We Love Football, a podcast that is sorry that they like football and talks about why they hate it every single week, and it's hilarious.
It's
one
aptly
of the hosts of the Buds basketball podcast, as well as the Brandon Jamel Show with Brandon Wardell and himself. Please give it up. Thank you for joining us, Jamel Johnson. Thank you for being here.
What's going on, Kyle? Good to see you. This is our first time talking.
Yeah. I guess I could have said also a Commanders fan, a Washington Commanders fan, though. People generally bury that far in the link tree.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for waiting as long as you could. I don't like that getting out. Though I do say it this year. Last year I wouldn't even say the word Commanders, but I've begun to take command.
Well, a new day has dawned for the Commanders in a way. Like, there's new ownership. So it's like, even though, like, yeah, it's like it may not be going great this year.
Right.
Like, it's like, but at least Dan Snyder's not in control anymore.
Yeah, at least nobody is taking illegal photos of the cheerleaders. At least we got that taken care of.
It's like when you drive by, like, a vape shop that says under new management, and you're like, a guy got shot there 2 days ago.
Yeah, but look, new management is in, so how many more guys will get shot? Probably not many.
Probably not that many.
Yeah. Is the new management the guy who shot someone? Is this sort of like a Game of Thrones takeover?
Even if a photo is taken of a cheerleader, okay, against her will, that's still less than the previous management. So,
right. If
I
hope that
I gotta think.
I like the idea of putting up a sign that says it's been this many days since our fans fell on the field when a railing collapsed, and then just like having someone with a dry erase marker sit next to it.
Look, that was strategy. That was Jalen Hurts running off the field. You want to try and injure the opposing team's quarterback, whether it's on the field of play or off.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to stop the tush push, is to have a giant cavalcade of fans fall down onto the line of scrimmage.
No, they'd still get the first down.
Well, let's get into our bets. It's NFL Week 6. You've got $1,000 here, Jamel, of completely fake money. Austin and I always talk about how pretty much everyone who comes on the show is a millionaire, if not whatever it's called when you have lots of millions. We're all rich enough that we give away all of our money. Mm-hmm. We're charitable. And is there a charity that you're playing for this week here on Doing Lines?
Oh yeah, I also do a little bit of philanthropizing. It's I'm playing for Tuddies Butties. This is we are raising money to get the Commander's new mascot, Major Tuddy, some butt cheeks. It's a pig, it's a hog, based on the hogs from the 80s, and it's a large hog with a helmet on, no ass. So we're gonna get Major Tuddy a BBL through hell or high water. Donate wherever you can, anytime you can.
Oh man, I would be a risk playing a team like from Kansas City or Carolina or Texas if he had a big pork ass, though. All right, so we're gonna play for Tuddies Buddies. You've got $1,000 to put across our bets. Remember, one of your bets must be the lock. We ask that you bet on at least 2. You don't have to bet on all of them, though. We'll read through our 6 here real quick. I'll go ahead and get us started, if that's all right, Austin.
Yeah, go right ahead.
My first bet, as a Chiefs fan, the Chiefs play Thursday Night Football against the Denver Broncos, who I looked up are an NFL team. And the Denver Broncos quarterback is Russell Wilson. I wanted to do a Sierra versus Taylor Swift, but there's not a lot of comparables there since Sierra pivoted from music into all these other things. I was looking up Grammys. I was looking up all these awards. Blah, blah, blah. Why get them involved? Russell Wilson has 12 bathrooms in his house. This is insane. 12 bathrooms in your house in Denver where the pipes can freeze is wild. That's a lot of infrastructure. And it's weird to say he famously has 12 bathrooms in his house, but it comes up. I knew it without Googling it. And so it's he has a 4-bedroom, 12-bathroom house, which I think isn't even an option on Zillow. And so I have a bet I'm calling Shit Plays. Will there be over or under 11.5 negative plays in the Chiefs-Broncos game? This man has 12 bathrooms.
Is that both teams or just Broncos? Okay.
Both teams.
All right,
over under 11.5. There were they hover around 10 to 14 total in their games throughout the season so far, both teams. We have over under 11.5 shit plays for the 12 bathroom Broncos quarterback.
That's a good one. Okay.
Also applies to Tuddy Buddies. Tuddy Buddies sounds like the Costco version of like puppy chow food.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Little nondescript biscuits.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, here we go. My next one is I'm going Jets, Eagles. Speaking of Eagles and Jets, did you know about 9,000 birds are killed by airplanes every year?
Wow.
That comes out to 24.6 birds per day. The BPD is about 24.6. Birds are killed in the air by jets. Over under 24.6 points through the air in the Jets-Eagles game.
And those are passing plays
those
only.
Are passing, those are through the air, passing play touch, passing play scores. You know, if it's
it's from aerial.
I'd take a crazy looking safety. You could convince me of it, but a pick six.
But no field goals, even though they're kicked through the air. No field goals.
Well, honestly, I didn't think this through past that. What do you guys think? Should field goals count?
Well, see, it's kind of hard because what about a pass play that leads to a field goal?
Or right, or an extra point.
Yeah.
I would say field goals, yes. Extra points, no. I'll do that.
Okay.
Field goals, yes. Extra points, no.
Okay. So 24.6
points through the air. And then my last one, this one's pretty simple. My fantasy group chat averages about 70 text messages per Sunday. A lot of these guys have kids. Some of them don't. Over under 69.5 fantasy group chats on Sunday. I will factor in the Chiefs play Thursday. So that might take mine down a little bit. But and I don't know what the Monday night game is. Oh, the Cowboys play Monday, and there's a Dallas Chargers. The Cowboys play Monday, and there's also a couple Dallas fans in there. But we've been hitting the over pretty consistently since week 1. So it's a bunch of dudes drinking
over
under
69.5. Okay.
Yes. And on Scouts Hunter, I'll text normally.
Okay. And you're immune from betting on this one, correct?
And I can't bet on that one, yeah.
Okay.
So I got shit plays. I got I call this one the National Geographic over under because that's they said that they were the ones who do that bird number, and then fantasy group chats at 69.5.
Okay. All right. For my first bet, we're gonna go to Lions Bucks. Okay, Lions Buccaneers. And when you think of Lion Bucks, what do you think of when you get Lion Bucks? That's right, Wall Street, you guys. Okay. So let's put.
I ended up there. Yes.
Yeah. So let's all put on our finest Rolexes, our nicest, I don't know, Dolce & Gabbana suits. I don't know. Clearly, I don't work on Wall Street, but wherever the NASDAQ is at the closing bell, okay, positive or negative, no matter how many points up or down it is, we're going to take those points, all right? Is the difference between Lions and Bucks total yardage over or under? Now, let me give an example because this is a lot.
No, Austin, this is a thing we all know and think about. We don't need an example. These are numbers that are always in our heads.
I had to look this up. I know nothing about the stock market, okay? So I had to look all of this up. But the NASDAQ closes, if the NASDAQ closes like 76 points up, all right? All we're looking at is the points, not if it's up or down. Do the Bucks and Lions total yards have a difference of those 76 points? Okay.
It doesn't matter who has more or less, and it doesn't matter if it went up and down.
Correct. Currently, it is at 53. So right now, if the bell closed, and it on Friday at 3 or 4 o'clock or whatever, it closes. If it at whatever that number is when it closes, then we will use that for the difference in yardage for the Bucks and Lions. So there's a lot of variables here. It's
a lot of trading places too. A lot
I
of people
will
don't
tell you,
know that.
Jamel, you don't even have to look this stuff up. We'll figure out the math for you.
Yeah. So it's this is it's a moving scale for this betting, but it's important to know. Titans Ravens. The Titans play the Ravens in London. So let's bust out some British literature with this bet, all right? This is aptly titled the "Please Sir, I Want Some More" bet, because Titans wide receiver Chris Moore will be playing in this game, and he has 4 catches in 5 games.
Ooh.
But 2 games with no catches, so important there. And the novel Oliver Twist was originally published in 24 monthly installments in the magazine Bentley's Miscellany.
Bentley's Miscellany. Yeah, we're all always talking about that.
Everybody know that.
I'm still subscribed, honestly. So, does Chris Moore have more than 24 yards receiving? Okay? Now, statistically, he averages 26.8 yards per game. He has 3 games with 40+, 2 games with 0 yards. All right? But since it is Oliver Twist we're talking about, there is an Oliver Twist in this bet. All right? Since it is London, it has to involve the Queen, right? So Ravens linebacker Patrick Queen. Chris Moore wears number 11. So if Patrick Queen gets 11 or more tackles, we will add 11 yards more to Chris's total. You see where I'm going? All right. Jamel's literally the blankest stare, blanket trying to keep a tab.
I had a bet called Poop Plays.
Yeah, I like the doo-doo one so far. I like the...
So basically, does Chris Moore have over under 24 yards receiving? And then if Patrick Queen gets 11 tackles, that will be added to Chris Moore's receiving total, those 11 yards. Does that make sense? Does that simplify it at all?
But it's fine.
It's fine.
We have the trial version of Zoom, so we got to just we can't go and explain this one because we'll hit our 40-minute time limit.
And lastly, my pop culture bet of the week. Now, the trailer for the new movie Iron Claw was released today. The story of the wrestling dynasty, the Von Erichs, starring Lily James, that dude from The Bear, and Zac Efron. Zac Efron,
Is this
I don't know
where
if you
Zac
guys...
Efron's looking like wildly yoked?
Yes, yeah, and with the weird Pete Rose bowl cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that movie, the first trailer for it dropped today. Now Zac Efron got his start on the MTV reality show Room Raiders. So let's go ahead and bust out the black lights and tongs and white gloves for this one. The Raiders average 71.4 rushing yards per week. Zach Moss, Colts running back, averages 89.5 yards per week. Do the Raiders outrush Zach Moss this week? Now, keep in mind, Jonathan Taylor is back for his second game. He'll probably get a few more touches than he did in his first game back on Sunday. Do the Raiders outrush Zach Moss of the Colts?
Yeah, I could see how this had to do with that movie.
Zac Efron. Zach Moss. Room Raiders.
Nah, you just made that connection right now.
What?
The Zac Efron, Zach Moss connection.
No, Zach and Zach.
Are the Raiders playing the Colts?
Zach. No, they're not. The Raiders are... Who do the Raiders have this week? The Raiders are playing the Patriots in Vegas.
Okay. Well, who cares? All right, Jamel, you have $1,000. You can go across however many of these you want in whatever ways. Just let us know where you want to put your money.
Well, I'm putting 500 on the Raiders to outrush Zach Moss straight up.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
starting there.
Okay.
Half the nut on that. What is the Patriots defense? Are they even alive? Are they going to be available? They're probably going to be at Cirque du Soleil or something.
Probably.
So I'm thinking that's
what's
my
his
lock.
name? If the Raiders owner plays the penny slots, what equivalent photo are we going to get of Bill Belichick? I feel like we'll see Bill Belichick at like a high stakes baccarat table arguing about the deck that's being used.
He's gonna be at Circus Circus. He's gonna be at Circus Circus playing the quarter slots with his grubby little paws, all dirty from the coins.
And Robert Kraft's gonna be at Donnie and Marie in the Flamingo. He's gonna be he loves some good Donnie and Marie. He's got a little bit rock and roll, a little bit of cowboy or whatever, a little bit country.
I kind of want to say that's my lock. What was shit plays again?
Over under 11.5 total negative plays in Chiefs Broncos.
I am going to take that as a lock.
All right.
It's a Thursday game. Thursday games get messier as the year goes on.
How much you want to put on that one?
I think I want to put. Okay, wait. I want to take that. What was your second one, Kyle?
The Birds, over under 24.6 points through the air in the Eagles versus Jets.
Oh, and we got them to include field goals. That's a lock. So I'm gonna parlay shit plays in the Birds, and I'm gonna put my remaining $500 on that. The Birds is a lock. They're definitely gonna score over 23 in the air. 25.
We'll
I might even put
parlay
it
in there as like a double lock.
Yeah. Give it a little double whamser.
Okay, so
Awesome.
over on the Birds on the plays through the air.
Over on the Birds, and I'm taking the Raiders over Zach Moss in motion.
All right.
Okay, we're feeling good. Wow, you don't want to do the very simple NASDAQ closing score Friday differentiate, but it's the when you put the brackets around it from math. Do you remember that where they said like negative doesn't matter? I don't even remember what that means. Absolute value.
I
versus
remember
yardage different in Lions Bucks.
I remember walking into Algebra 2 and walking right out like Homer Simpson.
Yeah,
that's not Homer's dad, but you felt me.
Yeah, we know. You could just back into the bush like Homer.
Yeah, but either one, they all work.
I absolutely unhinged bet. Well, great. Any other thoughts you have about betting this week here? Anything you want to throw out from we could not come up with a Commanders Falcons bet.
We tried hard for a
lives.
Commanders bet for you.
Oh, let's see. Okay. It's like Logan Thomas pass drops versus shots of Ron Rivera looking stupid. That's a
Can
tough
it be
one.
A push at 6?
I think it's a push. I'm betting on a push at 6 in that. I'm also betting that Josh Dobbs gets eyebrows this week.
Do they still mention that Eric Bieniemy is tough? Does that still come up during games? Like, that Eric Bieniemy, he wants guys to try.
Oh, brother, I have not listened to a Commanders game with the sound on in years. That's wild. With the sound on? Dude,
you just found out the team name changed like 2 weeks ago.
I listened to Lo-Fi Beats to study to.
Lo-Fi Beats.
With just that like video of Bart Simpson with bloodshot eyes.
Yeah.
Sort of like vibing in a car.
Yeah. I put it right underneath the TV, and that's my eye line.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone, I love the lo-fi beats. I love everyone's name is all lowercase the whole time. I feel like we all could have that could have been my revenue stream, was having 8 lo-fi beat YouTube channels,
right? And just
like
play
just
them
footage
on like
of Tokyo.
10-hour loop. Yeah,
I have Tokyo footage. It would have worked.
You would have got a lot of ad money from like bars of soap, like Dr. Squatch or whatever.
I wish. That's the
just
dream.
Just like lo-fi beats to a photo of Ryan Gosling in Drive. I feel like
yes,
yeah, it is. It all works.
It's just like vibes to Cruise 2. All right, Jamel. Well, good luck this week. We'll let you know where you land in our standings. You'll be top 6. That's exciting.
Nice.
No matter sort of how it goes. I think everyone's doing we're getting positive results this year.
Yeah.
With some exceptions of massive negatives, but
the fake money is flowing, honestly. I'm going to take you guys out for some fake drinks a little bit later.
Sounds nice.
I do have fake plans, unfortunately. Who, who all won't be there? Who all else won't be there? Jamel, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for
Everybody,
having
go
me.
check out Sorry We Love Football. Support the.
Yeah.
Go check out the Buds if you like the NBA, and
Yeah,
at Broccoli House on Instagram. Go give 'em a follow.
sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Jamel,
Thanks,
thank
y'all.
you, my man.
All right, big shout out again to Jamel. Just the best. She's so funny. Go check out Sorry We Love Football. They're hilarious. They literally spend every week apologizing for liking football and talk about what they hate about it. And his is mostly that it exists and he's addicted.
Every week I walk away just thinking like, why do I follow this sport? Like, why do why do I watch it? So, and if you remember, if you've been a follower of the podcast for a couple of seasons now, we had Danny Solomon from Sorry We Love Football last year. So,
Yes.
only a matter of time before who else do we need left? Daniel Hardigan, and then we've got the entire crew.
Yeah, and I think we're good.
Okay. And then we collect all. It's like a Pokemon. We just got to catch them all.
All right, I'm going to drop my bets here real quick to everybody. On the negative plays, I'm putting $200 on the under. I just don't think there's going to be that many plays.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it. I don't know. It feels weird. So I'm taking the under. On the Jets, Eagles, I'm taking the over on 24.6. I think there'll be 4 passing touchdowns and a field goal. Although the Eagles sneakily rush a lot of touchdowns. So we'll see. But I'm still
They do.
taking the over.
Yeah, and like if they
fantasy-
get close to the goal line,
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is just going to sneak it in from the 9.
You know what really hurts is getting cut up in the propeller of a jet. I skipping the fantasy group chat. I'm putting 150 on NASDAQ. I don't even remember what that bet was. I'm just betting 150 on that. I'm putting $200 on Chris Moore's over with the Patrick Queen potential to add to that. And then my lock, I'm putting $250 on the Raiders to outrush Zach Moss.
Okay.
I'm going pretty quick with it.
Yeah, I am. I'm for the Chiefs Broncos. I'm also taking the under on shit plays because I think the Broncos will have a lot of shit plays, but I do not think the Chiefs will have many at all. So they will not help add.
It really
to that
depends on if
total.
they still, for some reason, play Clyde Edwards-Helaire half of the game.
Yeah, right.
When they have another, it's like, this guy has 9 yards a carry and this other guy has no yards. We should split carries.
Right. I know. I'm going to go ahead and guess Isaiah Pacheco. No, they will not. The Jets, Eagles. I'm going to take the over.
How much you dropping on that first one, though?
Oh, I'm putting $100 on that. $100 on the under. I'm going to put $200 on the over for Jets, Eagles. I think 24.6 points through the air. I'm putting a lot out there, but I think, look, AJ Brown, a couple of field goals. I don't know. I'm feeling good. AJ Brown, I think, found the end zone twice last week, so
he did.
I think they're fighting, starting to find their connection 5 weeks in. The fantasy group chat, I'm taking the under $100. I think the Chiefs playing on Thursday and I think the Cowboys playing on Monday is going to limit. And this is midnight to midnight on Sunday only, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm definitely taking the under.
I guess it is important to know that there may be listeners from it. So this could be an easily tainted bet.
Oh my gosh.
If anything out of the ordinary happens, I can throw this null and void.
Kyle's a Chiefs fan. He sees too much success within his football team. So let's tank it in honor of Kyle. Do not text in that group chat.
It hits the over, someone yelling "shut up" in the group chat.
The Lions Bucks. I am going to take. Oh man, I'm going to take the under for the NASDAQ. I'm taking the under on the NASDAQ. I'm going to put $100 on that.
What does the under mean? The
well,
NASDAQ's
whatever
will be less
than
the yardage difference.
The
NASDAQ's difference will be less than the yardage difference.
How did I make this more confusing than the stock
I don't
market
know.
itself?
It's actually quite wild. I just start taking Quaaludes.
I'm taking the NASDAQ will be the NASDAQ will be less.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Will be less than the difference in yardage.
Okay.
Is that what you're also betting?
I think I have the other.
Okay. All right. So the NASDAQ will be more is what Kyle's betting. And then Titans, Ravens, Chris Moore. I think Chris Moore will be found for at least one pass, and then I think Patrick Queen will go over that 11 tackles or more. So I'm going to go over for 200.
Mm-hmm. All right,
So what
you
is
have
that?
$300 left.
I have $300. So let's put it on the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what?
I do.
No, yeah, let's put it on the Raiders because I think
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor's going to get more carries. And
then lock one of these up.
I'm going to lock up. I'm going to lock up the Chiefs Broncos. How about that?
The shit plays?
Yeah, shit plays.
All right.
I think that shit does play.
Well, we're feeling good. Let us know what you guys are thinking. And appreciate you. Give the like and subscribe. Drop a review wherever you listen to Doing Lines. This is week 6.
Please do.
And, find us, Cork Bats, me, Kyle. Find Austin. Find us all on the socials. You know how to find things. So this is the place.
Yeah,
to
hit it. Hit us up with your bets if you want to play along. We'll keep tallies of them.
Great. Thanks, guys. Enjoy week 6.